We grow up being told to think about others, to put people first, to sacrifice, to please, to adapt, and somewhere along the way, we forget ourselves. We lose sight of who we are beneath the expectations, beneath the noise, beneath the constant need to be accepted. But what if thinking about yourself wasn't selfish at all? What if it was the purest form of love, the kind that builds you, heals you, and frees you from everything that holds you back? This audiobook isn't about arrogance. It's about alignment. It's not about ignoring people. It's about remembering yourself. When you think about yourself, truly, deeply, you begin to understand your needs, your limits, your dreams, and your peace. You begin to realize that caring for yourself is the foundation for every other form of love. Thinking only about yourself doesn't mean you don't care about others. It means you finally care about yourself enough to stop betraying your own heart just to keep someone else comfortable. You'll learn in these chapters how to protect your energy, how to listen to your intuition, and how to stand firm in your worth without apology. This is a journey of rediscovery, a journey of power, peace, and presence. Because the truth is, you can't pour into others from an empty cup. You must first fill your own. So as you listen, let each word remind you that you are not wrong for choosing yourself. You are not selfish for seeking peace. You are simply awake. Welcome to Think Only About Yourself, a guide to rebuilding your relationship with you. A reminder that your first responsibility is not to please the world, but to protect your soul. Chapter 1. The misunderstood meaning of thinking about yourself. The phrase, "think only about yourself," sounds selfish, doesn't it? It sounds cold. It sounds like you've turned your back on the world. But that's not what it means. To think about yourself is to finally give yourself permission to live consciously. It's choosing awareness over approval, peace over people-pleasing, and authenticity over expectation. When most people hear the words, "think about yourself," they imagine self-centeredness, a kind of ruthless independence that doesn't care who gets hurt. But in truth, it's the opposite. Thinking about yourself means you've finally decided to take responsibility for your own well-being. It means you are no longer waiting for someone else to save you, heal you, or define you. You are stepping into your own life, with clarity, with strength, and with peace. Many people confuse self-focus with selfishness because they've been raised in environments that praise sacrifice and silence boundaries. They were told that love means giving everything, even your peace, your time, your energy, without ever questioning if it's destroying you inside. But there is no love in losing yourself, no honor in exhaustion, no virtue in forgetting your own worth. Thinking about yourself is about coming home to you. It's about looking inward and asking the questions you've avoided for too long. Who am I? What do I really want? What makes me feel alive? What drains me? You're growing when you begin to ask these questions without guilt. Because self-awareness is not selfishness, it's maturity. The world teaches us to perform, to compare, to impress. But few are taught to pause and reflect. Few are taught that to think about yourself is to become the guardian of your own peace. When you start thinking about yourself, you stop reacting to everything around you. You stop begging for attention, approval, and validation. You stop chasing people who were never meant to stay. You begin to understand that not everything deserves your energy, and not everyone deserves access to you. Thinking about yourself is about setting boundaries with grace. It's about knowing when to give and when to walk away. It's about saying, "I choose me," and meaning it, not because you don't care, but because you finally do. So, if you've ever felt guilty for putting yourself first, breathe. You're not wrong. You're not heartless. You're healing. In this life, you are your longest commitment. You are your only constant companion. Everyone else is passing through your story. Some for a season, some for a lesson, some for a lifetime. But you will always be here. So think about yourself, protect your energy, guard your peace, and never apologize for choosing you. Chapter 2. Why self-focus is not selfish. From childhood, we are taught to give, to share, to care, to think of others first. And while those lessons have value, no one teaches us the other side, how to give without losing ourselves. There is a difference between kindness and self-neglect, between love and overextension, between generosity and emptiness. You've probably heard people say, "Don't be selfish. Think of others." But what if the best way to truly think of others is to take care of yourself first? You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't give love if you've forgotten what it feels like to be loved by yourself. You can't guide others if you've lost your own direction. Self-focus is not selfish. It is survival. It is balance. It is the foundation of a healthy, peaceful life. When you are centered, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, you bring clarity to your relationships. You bring stability to your work. You bring authenticity to your presence. But when you are constantly drained, when you give without replenishing, when you say yes while your soul screams no, you become resentful. You become tired. You lose yourself. The world praises self-sacrifice, but often at the cost of self-respect. We applaud those who never rest, who never stop helping, who never think of themselves. But underneath that applause is quiet exhaustion. True self-focus is about responsibility, not ego. It's looking at your life and saying, I am accountable for my peace. I am responsible for my healing. I choose to be whole. It's refusing to carry burdens that aren't yours. It's understanding that your mental and emotional space are sacred, not open territory for everyone's chaos. Self-focus is not shutting others out. It's inviting yourself in. It's making time to breathe, to think, to feel, to listen. It's realizing that saying no to others can sometimes be saying yes to your sanity. When you start putting yourself first, some people will call you selfish. Let them. They were simply benefiting from your self-neglect. You are not selfish for setting boundaries. You are not selfish for needing rest. You are not selfish for wanting peace. You are healing from a world that taught you to abandon yourself for the sake of being liked. So let them misunderstand you. Let them think what they want. Because the truth is, when you focus on yourself, you become a better friend, a better partner, a better creator, a better human. Why? Because your actions begin to flow from fullness, not emptiness. So today, give yourself permission to focus inward, to pause, to realign, to nurture your energy as carefully as you nurture others. That is not selfish, that is sacred, and the moment you understand that, your entire world begins to change. Chapter 3. Protecting your energy. Your energy is sacred. It's the unseen force that shapes your reality. It's what you bring into every room, every conversation, every moment. But most people don't protect it. They give it away, carelessly, endlessly, to things and people that drain them. You're growing when you realize that protecting your energy is not about cutting everyone off. It's about choosing consciously where your peace goes. Energy is life. When it's scattered, you feel anxious, tired, confused. When it's focused, you feel powerful, clear, alive. Protecting your energy means asking yourself, who deserves access to me? What conversations leave me feeling empty? What habits steal my strength? What spaces make me forget who I am? You begin to notice how certain people light you up while others dim your spirit. How some environments lift you and others leave you feeling heavy. Your body knows before your mind does. You feel it, that subtle shift inside when your energy begins to drop. Listen to it. It's not being dramatic, it's being honest. Protecting your energy means saying no without feeling guilty. It means walking away from gossip, chaos, and unnecessary noise. It means refusing to be available for every conversation, every argument, every emotional storm. Because not every invitation deserves your presence. Not every connection deserves your attention. When you learn to guard your energy, you stop reacting to everything. You stop chasing closure. You stop needing to prove your worth. You simply stand in peace, and let the noise fade. You're not cold for being selective. You're wise. You've learned that your spirit cannot thrive in chaos disguised as connection. Protecting your energy is a daily practice. It's how you choose your thoughts in the morning, how you respond to negativity, how you care for your body, how you speak to yourself. Every choice either drains you or restores you. Be mindful of what you consume, not just food, but music, conversations, and content. Because everything you take in becomes a part of your energy field. Some people will call you distant when you begin to protect your peace. Let them. Peace is misunderstood by those who thrive on noise. You're not distant, you're disciplined. Your energy is your life currency. Spend it wisely. Give it where it multiplies, not where it disappears. Protect your peace, and your peace will protect you. Protect your energy, and you'll attract everything that aligns with it. Because when your energy is whole, your world becomes whole. So breathe, stand tall, and remember, your energy is your responsibility. Guard it with love, guard it with intention, guard it like your life depends on it. Because in many ways, it does. Chapter 4. Learning to say no. No is one of the smallest words in the language, yet one of the hardest to say. Why? Because from a young age, we're taught to please, to be agreeable, to avoid disappointing others. But as you grow, you begin to realize that saying yes to everything is the fastest way to lose yourself. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful forms of self-respect. It's how you reclaim your time, your peace, your priorities. You're growing when you no longer say yes out of fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of being misunderstood. Because true growth isn't about being liked, it's about being authentic. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you betray a part of yourself. You drain your energy, you weaken your boundaries, you teach people that your time and peace are negotiable. But they're not. No is a full sentence. It doesn't require explanation, defense, or apology. When you say no, you're not being rude, you're being real. You're not rejecting others, you're protecting yourself. Think of how much lighter your life becomes when you only say yes to what feels right. When your energy is no longer divided between obligation and resentment. Saying no gives you space. Space to rest, space to create, space to breathe. It creates room for what actually matters, your growth, your healing, your peace. People who benefit from your yes might resist your no. Let them. Their reaction is not your responsibility. Boundaries will offend those who expect your endless compliance. But you were not born to live in exhaustion. You were born to live in alignment. So say no when your heart feels heavy. Say no when your intuition whispers, this isn't right. Say no when saying yes would cost your peace. And remember, you are not required to explain your boundaries to anyone who refuses to respect them. Each no you speak is a yes to yourself. A yes to balance, a yes to clarity, a yes to freedom. So the next time you hesitate to say no, breathe deeply and remind yourself, you're not closing doors. You're opening space for what truly belongs to you. Because the truth is, peace begins the moment you stop saying yes to things that harm it. Chapter 5. Detaching from external validation. Most of what we do for approval. We want to be liked, accepted, understood. We want others to see us, to applaud our efforts, to tell us we're doing well. But what happens when they don't? What happens when the people you've been trying to please don't notice your effort, or worse, dismiss it? That's when you begin to realize how dangerous it is to build your worth on someone else's perception. You're growing when you begin to detach from the need to be validated. When you start doing things because they feel right to you, not because they look right to others. External validation is a trap. It trains you to measure your progress by applause. It makes your happiness fragile, dependent on other people's moods, opinions, and approval. The truth is, not everyone will understand your journey. Not everyone will clap for your growth. And that's okay, because you didn't come this far to perform. You came to evolve. When you stop seeking validation, you start finding peace. You stop chasing likes and start building life. You stop proving yourself and start improving yourself. Detaching from external validation doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stop letting their opinions define your worth. It means you stop living for the eyes watching you and start living for the soul within you. You're growing when silence doesn't scare you anymore. When you can do good without announcing it. When you can achieve something without needing everyone to know. Because validation is like a drug. It feels good for a moment, then fades, leaving you craving more. But self-approval, that lasts. It's quiet, it's steady, it's real. The more you depend on validation, the less power you have. But the moment you say, I don't need them to understand me, you become free. You begin to live life on your own terms. You begin to measure success not by how many people see you, but by how peaceful you feel inside. Detach with love, detach with peace, because not everyone will see your light for what it truly is. Some people only notice when it stops shining for them. Your worth is not up for debate. It is not earned by approval. It is your birthright. So stop waiting for permission to be proud of yourself. Stop waiting for others to see your value. Start seeing it yourself. Because the moment you stop needing validation, you become unstoppable. And that is when you truly begin to think for yourself. Chapter 6. Building Inner Peace. Peace is not something you find. It's something you build, moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. So many people are chasing peace in relationships, in achievements, in places and possessions, but peace is not out there. It's in here, inside you. You build inner peace when you stop fighting yourself. When you stop arguing with reality. When you stop expecting others to give you what only you can give yourself. Peace begins the moment you stop needing everything to go your way. It begins when you accept that you cannot control people, you can only control your response. You build peace by simplifying your life, by releasing what's unnecessary, by letting go of what drains you, and by focusing on what matters. Not every battle deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every emotion deserves your reaction. Peace is a discipline. It's the art of staying calm even when the world around you is loud and chaotic. You're growing when you can sit in silence without feeling restless. When you can be alone without feeling lonely. When you can say, "I'm okay," even when things aren't perfect. Inner peace is not about ignoring problems. It's about responding to them with wisdom and patience, not panic. It's about knowing that no matter what happens outside, you are safe inside yourself. To build peace, you must first understand your triggers. What steals your calm? What people or habits make you feel small? What stories are you still holding onto that keep you anxious? Then, one by one, you begin to release them. You begin to forgive, not to excuse the past, but to free yourself from it. You begin to rest more, worry less, and stop trying to prove your worth. Peace comes when you choose it repeatedly, even when chaos tries to tempt you. It's built in your morning quiet, in your patient conversations, in the moments when you walk away instead of arguing back. You will know you're building peace when your reactions slow down, when you no longer feel the need to explain yourself to everyone. When your heart becomes calm, not cold. Peace is your power. It's not weakness to walk away, it's wisdom. It's not giving up, it's growing up. So breathe deeply, protect your calm, be gentle with your emotions. Speak softly to yourself, do the things that soothe your spirit. Because peace is not found in perfection, it's found in presence. And once you build it within you, nothing outside you can take it away. Chapter 7. Honoring your boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are doors with locks. You decide who comes in, how long they stay, and what energy they bring. Most people lose their peace not because of what happens to them, but because of what they continue to allow. You're growing when you begin to honor your boundaries without guilt, without apology, without fear. Because boundaries are not selfish, they're sacred. They protect your mental health, your time, and your spirit. When you set a boundary, you're simply saying, "I love myself enough to protect my peace." It's not about controlling others, it's about controlling what you tolerate. You don't owe unlimited access to anyone. Not to family, not to friends, not to work, not even to people you love deeply. Because love without boundaries is not love, it's chaos. When you don't honor your limits, you slowly lose your sense of self. You begin to feel drained, resentful, and unseen. But when you do honor them, you feel light. You feel respected. You feel free. Setting boundaries is easy to talk about but hard to live out. It often means saying no when your heart wants to say yes. It means walking away from conversations that are going nowhere. It means creating distance where there used to be comfort. But remember, boundaries are not punishments. They're expressions of self-worth. When you say, "I don't accept this," you're not being difficult, you're being clear. When you say, "I need space," you're not being distant, you're being wise. The people who truly value you will understand your boundaries. They will adjust. They will respect the line. The ones who don't, were never at peace with your power. You're not meant to explain your boundaries to those who benefit from you not having any. So stand firm. Be kind, but be clear. Say what you mean, and mean what you say. You don't have to argue. You don't have to convince. You just have to stay consistent. Because every time you honor a boundary, you honor yourself. You remind your soul that it is safe with you. Boundaries create space for peace to grow. They separate what drains you from what sustains you. They remind the world, and you, that your energy has value. So never feel guilty for choosing yourself, for protecting your heart, for walking away when it costs too much to stay. Boundaries are not about shutting people out. They're about keeping your light alive. Honor them, live by them, and watch how your world begins to calm. Chapter 8. The Power of Solitude. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Loneliness is the absence of others. Solitude is the presence of yourself. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you unlock one of life's greatest freedoms, the ability to be content, no matter who stays or who leaves. Solitude is where the noise fades and truth begins to whisper. It's in those quiet moments that you hear your real voice, the one that's buried beneath the opinions of others. We live in a world that fears silence. People fill their days with distractions, scrolling, talking, watching, escaping, because being alone feels uncomfortable. But solitude is not emptiness. It's alignment. It's the space where your soul breathes and your thoughts begin to make sense. When you sit alone, You see yourself more clearly. You realize what matters and what doesn't. You begin to understand your emotions instead of running from them. In solitude, you learn peace. You learn patience. You learn presence. You begin to notice small joys, the sound of the wind, the rhythm of your breathing, the beauty of just being alive. Growth often happens in quiet seasons. When no one is watching, when nothing seems to be moving, when you are simply learning to sit still and trust the process. Don't rush through solitude. Don't try to fill it. Let it shape you, because it's in that quiet space that your next version is being born. When you're alone, you learn self-reliance. You learn that your happiness doesn't depend on attention, validation, or approval. You learn that your peace doesn't require company, it requires clarity. Solitude teaches you to listen to your intuition, to hear that small, calm voice that always knows the truth. It reminds you that you already have everything you need inside you. And when you finally become comfortable being alone with yourself, you stop fearing loss. Because you realize, you were never truly alone. You've always had you. So take walks without your phone. Sit in silence without music. Write your thoughts. Pray. Reflect. Breathe. The more you connect with your own soul, the less you depend on the world to make you feel complete. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's self-discovery. It's strength. It's peace. And once you fall in love with the calm of your own presence, you'll never settle for noise again. Chapter 9. Stop explaining yourself. There comes a point in your growth where you stop needing everyone to understand you. Where your peace matters more than being right. Where your energy is too sacred to keep defending what your heart already knows. You don't owe anyone an explanation for choosing yourself. Not for saying no, not for walking away, not for changing your mind, not for growing in a direction they don't understand. Every time you over-explain, you hand someone else power over your peace. You begin to seek their approval for decisions that only your soul can make. There's freedom in quiet confidence, in simply knowing you don't have to justify your journey to anyone. Growth is personal, healing is private, peace is internal. Most people won't understand your process because it wasn't meant for them. It's your transformation, not a group discussion. Sometimes the best thing you can do is say nothing. Let your actions, your calm, and your consistency speak louder than your explanations ever could. You don't need to prove that you're kind by staying in draining relationships. You don't need to prove that you're loyal by tolerating disrespect. You don't need to prove that you're strong by pretending you're not hurting. You're allowed to make choices that confuse others but bring peace to you. You're allowed to outgrow people, habits, and environments that no longer align with your purpose. Stop explaining why you're distant. Stop explaining why you're quiet. Stop explaining why you're doing things differently. You don't owe anyone a story about how you're learning to breathe again. Real peace begins when you stop begging to be understood. When you stop seeking validation from people who can't even validate themselves. Sometimes silence is the strongest response. It protects your energy. It ends arguments before they begin. It reminds people that your life belongs to you, not to their opinions. When you stop explaining yourself, you regain your power. You reclaim your boundaries. You return to your center. Those who truly care for you won't need a presentation to understand. They'll just feel your heart, see your effort, and respect your space. So next time you feel the urge to justify your choices, pause and remind yourself. You don't owe anyone that. Your peace is not up for debate. Your growth does not need permission. Walk your path quietly, confidently, and unapologetically. Because the right people will never make you explain your worth, they'll recognize it. Chapter 10. Letting go of control. You don't have to control everything to have peace. You don't have to hold it all together to be okay. The truth is, control is an illusion we cling to when we're afraid. Afraid of uncertainty, afraid of pain, afraid of outcomes we cannot predict. But growth happens when you loosen your grip and trust the process. There's a quiet strength in surrender. Not in giving up, but in letting things flow as they are meant to. You see, not everything needs your fixing. Not every situation needs your interference. Some things heal better without your constant worrying. When you try to control every outcome, you live in a constant state of tension, checking, correcting, and overthinking. But when you release control, you make room for peace, for patience, for possibility. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you finally understand that worrying doesn't change the future, it only drains your present. You cannot force timing. You cannot rush growth. You cannot push people into the version you imagine for them. Sometimes, the greatest act of love is letting go of your expectations, of your fears, of the urge to fix what isn't yours to fix. When you let go, you begin to breathe again. You begin to trust life's rhythm, that what is meant for you will always find you. Think about the times you tried to control everything. The stress, the sleepless nights, the anxiety that never left. Now, think about the moments when you just let things be, and somehow, they worked out. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. You're not here to manage everything. You're here to experience life, to learn, to grow, to flow with what is. When you stop needing to control, you start learning to trust. Trust in yourself, trust in time, trust in the unseen hand that guides you when you can't see the path ahead. Control is heavy, trust is light. Choose light. You'll feel freer when you stop chasing what's not yours. You'll feel calmer when you stop forcing what doesn't fit. You'll feel alive when you finally realize you don't need to manage everything to have peace. Let go of control. Hold on to faith. Allow life to surprise you. Because sometimes, the best things come when you stop trying to control how they arrive. You're growing when you can say, I don't know what's next, but I trust that I'll be okay. That is real strength. That is freedom. That is peace. Chapter 11. The Art of Saying No. Saying no is not cruelty. It's clarity. It's one of the most powerful ways you can honor yourself, and one of the hardest. Most people struggle to say no because they're afraid of disappointing others, afraid of being misunderstood, afraid of being seen as unkind. But saying yes when you mean no is not kindness. It's self-betrayal. Every time you say yes to things that drain you, you say no to your peace, your rest, your growth. You were not created to please everyone. You were created to live truthfully, to walk in purpose, to protect your light. There is freedom in a gentle, firm no. No explanation, no guilt, no overthinking, because your boundaries are not up for negotiation. Think about it. How many times have you overcommitted, burned out, and felt resentment because you couldn't say no? You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot serve from exhaustion. Sometimes, no is the kindest word you can say, to yourself and to others. It's not rejection, it's redirection. It's choosing where your energy goes, and protecting what keeps you whole. You don't have to apologize for saying no to things that no longer align with your peace. You don't have to explain why you don't want to attend, why you don't feel comfortable, why you're choosing rest instead of noise. No is a complete sentence. It doesn't require a paragraph. At first, people might resist. They may question your shift, accuse you of changing. But that's okay, you are changing. You're learning to value your time, your mind, and your energy. When you learn to say no, you reclaim your power. You stop living reactively, and start living intentionally. You begin to fill your life with only what brings you peace, purpose, and meaning. So, say no to overcommitting, to draining conversations, to anything that makes you feel small. Say no, not because you don't care, but because you finally do. And remember, your no is not rejection, it's redirection toward what truly matters. Say it calmly, say it clearly, say it confidently, because when you learn the art of saying no, you create the space for a life that finally feels like your own. Chapter 12. Choosing yourself without guilt. For most of your life, you were taught to put others first. To give, to serve, to please, even when it cost you your peace. And while kindness is beautiful, sacrifice without balance slowly destroys you. Choosing yourself doesn't make you selfish. It makes you whole. There is nothing wrong with resting instead of rushing, with saying no instead of explaining, with walking away instead of holding on. The guilt you feel for putting yourself first is not your intuition, it's conditioning. It's the voice of a world that taught you to neglect your needs for the comfort of others. But you are allowed to choose yourself. You are allowed to prioritize your healing, your energy, and your peace. Because you can't pour love into others from an empty heart. Choosing yourself means saying, I matter too. It means giving yourself permission to take up space, to rest without apology, to follow what feels aligned instead of what feels expected. The people who truly love you won't be offended by your self-respect. They'll understand that a better you means a better connection with them. Stop explaining why you're distant. Stop apologizing for your silence. Stop feeling guilty for outgrowing situations that no longer nurture you. Your peace is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Choosing yourself isn't about ignoring others. It's about listening to the voice you've ignored for too long, your own. There will be moments when choosing yourself feels lonely. When people call you distant, or selfish, or cold. But remember, they're reacting to your boundaries, not your heart. You're not abandoning anyone by putting yourself first. You're simply returning home to your soul. And once you're full again, you'll be able to give love freely, not out of obligation, but out of overflow. Guilt fades when you realize you were never meant to save everyone. You were meant to save yourself first. So choose yourself, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's misunderstood, even when it means standing alone for a while. Because when you choose yourself without guilt, you step into your power. You teach the world how to treat you. You show yourself that you are enough, without needing to earn it. It's not selfish to love yourself. It's sacred, it's strength, it's survival. So today, choose yourself. Fully, freely, without guilt. Chapter 13. Becoming your own peace. There comes a time in your journey when you stop waiting for peace to come from people, places, or possessions, and you realize it has to come from within. You become your own peace when you stop letting every storm shake your soul. When you stop chasing calm in the arms of others, and start creating it in the stillness of your own heart. Peace is not something you find, it's something you become. It's in how you wake up, how you breathe through frustration, how you respond when things don't go your way, how you choose silence instead of argument, how you forgive without needing closure. Becoming your own peace means learning to stay centered no matter the noise around you. It means walking through chaos without losing your calm. It means knowing that storms will come, but they don't have to live inside you. You can be surrounded by confusion and still be still. You can be surrounded by noise and still be grounded. Because peace is not the absence of problems, it's the presence of perspective. When you are your own peace, you stop begging for love that costs your sanity. You stop seeking validation from people who can't see your value. You stop letting temporary emotions make permanent decisions. You start to move with grace. You speak softly, you think clearly, you rest often, and suddenly, life doesn't feel like a battle anymore. You become your own peace when you start trusting your journey. When you realize that not everything needs an answer. That sometimes, uncertainty is the universe's way of leading you exactly where you belong. Peace is choosing not to react. It's pausing before you respond. It's smiling without reason. It's accepting what is and being grateful anyway. You become your own peace when you release what's not yours to carry. When you forgive what you can't forget. When you choose love over fear. The truth is, peace doesn't depend on the world changing. It depends on you changing. On how you see, feel, and respond. You can walk through the same chaos as yesterday and feel lighter, simply because you've learned to protect your energy. Becoming your own peace is not about perfection. It's about practice. It's about showing up each day, choosing calm, choosing boundaries, choosing yourself, again and again. So breathe deeply, close your eyes, and remind yourself, you are safe. You are growing, you are becoming your own peace. Because peace is not out there. It's in here, right where you are. You've just listened to Think Only About Yourself, a calm, reflective journey towards self-love and inner peace. If this audiobook helped you reconnect with yourself, remember to subscribe to Audiobook Hub 11. For more words that heal, inspire, and strengthen your mind. Until next time, breathe deeply, trust your path, and keep choosing yourself.